Hi, Rob Walker here again. This video is going to be a role-playing game video. I won't be making a habit of this because I feel that there are people in the YouTube RPG community who do a way better job at this sort of thing than I ever could. I am kind of RPG community adjacent, but I really fancy myself more of a vlogger, an animator, a storyteller, a writer, I guess. Although this is an interest of mine, so every once in a while I think I probably will do a video about role-playing games or games in general, and just kind of lay things out at the feet of the community and kind of see if I can get some feedback from you guys, if that's alright with you. As I mentioned in a previous video, the response video to Tim, I came to this hobby very late, and when I started getting into it and figuring out that I wanted to at least try role-playing games, I didn't know where to start. And when you don't know where to start with role-playing games, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Dungeons and Dragons. And I had an opportunity to play kind of a one-off game some years back. I think it was 3.5. The Dungeon Master was very good, but he didn't really know how to introduce someone who wasn't familiar at all with role-playing games to the world of role-playing games. So I found myself kind of thrust into the body of this dwarf in this city where this secret cabal was trying to take over the government, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Which, on some level, I think that was good. On another, I didn't really get... I didn't get what role-playing was. I don't know if you guys in the community are aware of this, but if you've never had, or if you've had very little experience with role-playing games, and you go to do your own research with these tattered tomes of Dungeons and Dragons manuals, they are terrible to read. They're terrible to read, particularly if you didn't grow up with that stuff. So I kept kind of circling role-playing games because I really wanted to see what was out there. And I ran across The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and I ordered a copy immediately, and I started reading it. It was a pleasure to read, and the rules were as simple as they come. I actually couldn't believe that this was technically considered a role-playing game. It was really more of a party improv game. I didn't know that role-playing games could be like this. And then in my research continuing to look over the role-playing game hobby, I ran across Ghostbusters, the role-playing game. I'm a huge fan of the film, and I ended up doing a video review for the Gentleman Gamer. I think we did a Switch review. He reviewed a film, and I reviewed a role-playing game. But while there were parameters to that game, both the GM and the players had a lot of wiggle room. It was just more about having fun than it was about charts and rules and manuals and percentages. I'm not mathematically minded. I am a narrative kind of guy. I like to know what characters are doing. I like to know what story we're telling. Build the world for me. Then tell me how to live in it. So those are two games that kind of reopened the idea of the role-playing game as something I might want to participate in. So, all of this to say, when I first got into gaming, I kind of wanted to know why there wasn't a pamphlet, and maybe there was, maybe I just didn't visit the right site or whatever, but I kind of wanted a pamphlet that someone would give me that said, you know, so you want to play role-playing games, here are 3 to 5 intro games that you should get into. So I kind of want to lay it out to you guys in the community, what are 3 to 5 role-playing games that you think would be good to introduce to a new player. They don't necessarily have to be role-playing games. I guess if I wanted to explain Dungeons and Dragons to somebody, I could bust out Munchkin and kind of explain D&D to them using the tropes found in Munchkin. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. There just really isn't any role-playing involved there. So what do you guys think? What are 3 to 5 role-playing games that you honestly think new players would play? But I really want you guys to think hard about this. You meet someone who has absolutely no knowledge of role-playing whatsoever. What are 3 to 5 games that you think would be able to get them into the hobby in a smooth and easy way? Yeah, so that's my role-playing game video. That's kind of what I wanted to lay out to you guys. Leave comments. I'd love to hear what you think, and thank you for watching. And my cat is a crazy person.